This is a question that I think is very important to me and very important to the country. When you were in office, and I don't know when this happened or if it happened, did you go through the secret files, the UFO documents? Because if I was president, that'd be the first thing I did.
You know, it's funny. My daughters asked the very same question.
They did?
Yeah.
Would you be allowed to tell your daughters what was in those files?
No.
You would not?
No.
Now that you're out of office, you can do anything you want, right?
True, yeah. But I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me. You're not telling me what? Are you not telling me that you looked at them?
I'm not telling you nothing.
Are there really great secrets that you know that you can't share with people?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. And you never write about them?
No.
Maybe at a time in your life that you're like, oh, I'm 90, I'm going to do it.
No.
No, nothing. What if you were to get like a little like loopy, you know, you get old and
start drinking again?
Start drinking again. Guillermo, get some tequila.
Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. This clip that you just saw came from a recent interview with former President George Bush and Jimmy Kimmel, who we all know is the comedian and host of the late-night talk show Jimmy Kimmel Live. And as with every other time that Mr. Kimmel has the pleasure of having a former or current president on his show, he always brings up the topic of aliens, as I would, and I think any of you guys would. And he asks them the same basic list of questions, which is that when you became president, did you look into the alien phenomenon and the secret files? And if so, what did you find? And this is a very telling clip with former President George W. Bush here. And so, just to recap here, what was said, Mr. Kimmel asks President Bush, as I'll call him through this video, if he went in and if he went through the secret UFO files. To which Mr. Bush responds casually and with a smile, maybe. Then going on to say that his daughter has asked him the exact same question and that he has told his daughter the same thing, which is that no, he can't tell you anything. After this, Mr. Kimmel asks him, you're not telling me what exactly? To which Bush quips back, I'm not telling you nothing. To which there's a loud laughter and applause. And I wanted to know if you guys noticed this. There's videos you can find on YouTube, TED Talks, where they go through the subtle facial movements, body movements, or tells that occur very subtly when someone is lying. Now, this can be looking up at the ceiling, looking down at the ground, shaking your head, yes or no, unconsciously while you're saying something, and there's a whole other list of little telltale signs that someone is lying. And it's been pointed out that as he was asking Mr. Bush if he had gone through the secret UFO files, and it happens very subtly, but you'll see that at one point Mr. Bush shakes his head yes, or nods his head yes. Now, it's likely, well, possible, that he was given these questions before the interview, as many times they do, but you'll see these little signs, and laughter is another sign. When someone is lying or at least being deceptive, they will tend to make a joke out of what they're saying. And this is very prevalent with the interview from 2015 where Mr. Kimmel asked the same question to President Barack Obama, which I'll get to in just a second. So President Bush says, I'm not telling you anything. So then lastly, Mr. Kimmel asks him, but in all seriousness, are there great secrets that you can't share? To which, without even missing a beat, Bush answers yes. And you can obviously tell there that he's telling the truth. And he then reiterates the fact that even though he's retired now, or well, he's an ex-president, he will never write about these secrets that he knows. He will never tell anybody till his dying day. Possibly if he were to start drinking again. But even then, he makes it seem like he will never reveal what he knows. And this is interesting, because every time I've seen a president on TV being asked about aliens, you would think that if aliens just didn't exist, all right, and all of this research was for nothing, they didn't exist, all right, we know nothing, the government knows nothing, all right, so we're all wrong, then you would think that when asked this very, and what seems by the mainstream media as a silly question, do aliens exist, do you know anything about aliens, you would think that these presidents or former presidents would simply say, no, I know nothing, there is no evidence that I've seen that they exist. But they never say that. What they do say is that they can't speak about it. They can't reveal what they know. And going further in this particular interview, when asked if there were these great secrets that he knew about, his automatic response was yes, and that he will never tell anybody, not even his own daughter. So I think this is a very telling interview here. And again, it ties in to the interview with former President Obama back in 2015, where once again he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and Jimmy asked him if after he became president, did he immediately go and look up information about aliens and find out what the government knew. And of course Obama joked back, telling Jimmy, well, that's the reason that he will never be president. But then Obama made a joke, and with a smile on his face said, the aliens won't let it happen, you'll reveal all their secrets. To which, of course, there was a big applause, a whole lot of laughter, and as I've said before, the truth here is very subtle, and you can mask something that you're saying as a joke when in reality, it's actually the truth. That is how they drip feed us these little pieces of truth, by making it seem like a joke, by talking about it in passing, and in a comedic or non-serious way. President Obama then elaborates, saying that, quote, they, meaning the aliens, exercise strict control over us. And again, if you go back and watch this interview, Obama's facial expression, the way he is laughing and his face is kind of turning red, I mean, it's been analyzed and overanalyzed by millions of people, but to the ones who can really sense, I mean, I think everybody has something in them where you can sense if someone's telling the truth or not. You can sense if someone is telling the truth, but is trying to cover it up and make it seem like it's nothing but a joke. And, you know, it's kind of like a sixth sense. And that's what you kind of get from that interview. It's kind of eerie, the way that Obama is laughing. It's kind of this forced laugh, where it's almost as if he's trying too hard to make it seem like it's a joke. And so once again, Mr. Kimmel asks him and says, but in all seriousness, did you look? Did you explore? And of course, like President Bush, Mr. Obama replied, quote, I can't reveal anything. So once again, didn't say that he didn't look, didn't say the aliens didn't exist, didn't say that the government didn't know about aliens, but stuck with this, I can't reveal anything. So he talks about aliens in this very forced, joking manner, as if it was all nonsense, and then follows it up with, I can't reveal anything. Now, I think the best part of that interview with Obama is when Jimmy Kimmel brings up the fact that when he spoke with Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton, Mr. Clinton said that he did go in and check the UFO files, I guess, and said that they were not there, that there was nothing there. To which Mr. Obama immediately replies, quote, well, that's what we're instructed to say. And, you know, it's like, of course, there's a big applause and everything, but you know what? I mean, a lot of this stuff coming from Obama's mouth during that interview, I mean, it was just strange for him to say. Saying quotes like, well, that's what we're instructed to say, our alien overlords exercise strict control over us. I mean, this is stuff that only someone who really researches into the topic of aliens and the cover-up surrounding them would know about, if you guys know what I mean, because we all know too well about how government officials, who, by the way, have come out and testified to the fact that, yes, they are instructed to say nothing, and to say that, yes, aliens don't exist, and we know nothing about aliens. Of course they're instructed to say that. Pilots are instructed to say that. Astronauts are instructed to say that. And, so you hear that from Obama, and you hear some of these other strange things that he says in a joking manner, but things that are just strange that he said, the way in which he says these things. So, yeah, if you haven't seen that interview, be sure to check it out. I will put the link to it down in the video description. I'll put both links to the Bush interview as well as the President Obama. And I think they're very, very telling. And I think this is once again an example of former presidents basically being able to, in front of millions of people, say the truth, but without actually really saying it. You know what I mean? So they're telling you the truth, but they're masking it as a joke, laughing, ha ha, everyone's laughing, and that's how they drip feed you, because they make it into a joke, and you have millions of people watching these shows, and then they just forget about it. They go on with their lives, they think nothing more of it, when really, these presidents and former presidents are dropping bombshells here. They're dropping little crumbs of information for us, but they are doing it in a very clever way. So I have no doubt that these presidents knew, and they're not telling. And that's the one thing that they don't say in a joking manner, is that they cannot reveal anything that they know, and that there are great secrets that are being kept from the public that will never see daylight. So, lastly today, if you guys remember, last week they discovered these 7 new Earth-like planets around this star called TRAPPIST-1. 3 of these planets, which could host alien life, are rocky worlds just like Earth, could have water on them, atmospheres, and could have life on them. Well, a new 3-dimensional video, a new 3D video, has been posted to YouTube by NASA of possibly what one of these alien planets looks like, and you're seeing that here. So I will put the link to this down below, which is titled NASA VR on the surface of the planet TRAPPIST-1d. And as you can see, you can drag your mouse and take a 360-degree look at possibly one of these planets and what they look like if you're on the surface. And it's actually pretty cool, because as you look up into the sky, you can see their star, TRAPPIST-1, and you can see some of these other 7 planets in the distance, in the sky. So I'm just kind of circling here, giving you guys a look. You guys can go over, and I believe it goes up to, almost 4K resolution, almost. And you can blow it up on full screen and look at it for yourselves. But it's pretty cool. I'm very excited about this discovery of these 7 planets. But, you ask me, in my opinion, NASA obviously already knows that there is alien life out there. All right? There's enough evidence, and there's enough evidence of NASA's covering up of this fact. So I wouldn't put it past the powers that be that they have already detected life on one or multiple of these planets, whether it be through atmospheric signatures, some sort of signals being detected. I have no doubt that they know. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. I have got another video coming. I'll have it up tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe, stay tuned, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all back in just a bit.